from Chip Ganassi, who owns Chip Ganassi Racing. Everybody knows that NASCAR has gotten into the iRacing. Everybody started saying, if this is more interesting than the real race ones, why don't they just move with this going forward? Well, obviously, they sell hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tickets across the country to people that live and die with NASCAR. So that's why they can't do the iRacing. And I always wondered, those guys are getting very comfortable. They're in here racing down in Daytona right next to their baby sleeping. And I was like, I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out. Turns out Kyle Larson went ahead and just said the one word that white Caucasian individuals can never, ever say. Ever. And I know that sometimes the TikTok generation gets a little loosey-goosey with it because they don't fully understand what the word means to some people and how terrible it can be construed. And by the way the word started was the most negative word potentially in the history of existence. Kyle Larson, in an iRacing event yesterday, said the one word that white people aren't allowed to say. The one word that, although African Americans utilize it amongst each other and it's used in rap songs that are massively popular, and that is just the one word that when you karaoke a rap song as a white person, you cannot say, because past white people use that word as an abusive word and as a word to talk down to an entire community and culture. Kyle Larson yesterday dropped a hard R while racing when wondering if anybody could hear him. Kyle Larson now, who is a racer for Chip Ganassi Racing, has been suspended without pay because he chose to use a word that is offensive and unacceptable. As of this moment, we are suspending Kyle without pay while we work through the situation with all appropriate parties. Who are the appropriate parties? Are you calling the NAACP and Kyle Larson? I don't know how you get the appropriate parties involved. All I know is Kyle Larson sounded as if he's a man who has used that word more than 7,000 times in his life. That thing just slipped out like there was no problem, and it was just like, hey, you hear me? Hey, can you hear me over there? Hey. Whoa. Nobody even said anything until our guy, Indianapolis native, Connor Daly, 30 seconds later goes, yikes. Yikes. Nobody else even responded, maybe because they're so focused on their little fake cars and their fake racing and stuff like that. But boy, if a white person was to say that around me, the first response is immediate look at that person and saying, you need to never say that around me because I do not want to get associated with your stupid mouth saying dumb things. And that I feel bad for the one video I saw because it wasn't Kyle Larson's stream. It was somebody else's stream that only had one little white guy's face in the corner. And I had to match up. Was it this son of a bitch that said that? And his lips were not moving at the same time. I'm like, oh, it was somebody else. Then we learned it was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson has been completely canceled by all parties, including Chip Ganassi Racing. And to be honest, if that's a word that you just let fly out in the year 2020 and you're a white person, you should cancel yourself anyways, dig a hole, and maybe go out into the desert.
It looked like he was trying to get like a pop from people too. Like he thought like he was about to get like a big response. Like, yeah, like,
killed it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, guy's a moron. What else is there to say?
Now listen, for 12 years of my life was a minority in my workplace, right? In college, in the NFL, the whites are not the majority of people in the locker room. So you learn quickly about other people's cultures, and you learn quickly about their families and what they've heard growing up and why it is such a detrimental word to their society. And although they use it as a term of endearment, why white people can't use it. And I think I was very lucky to be in that situation and lucky to experience and learn from all that stuff. But whenever you hear buffoons like that say it, I hate the fact that there's a chance that some people would say, well, that's what white people do. It's like, no. Please know that Kyle Larson and his dumb ass is very different than the large majority of white people who very much understand that word is just something that should never, ever leave the lips of a Caucasian. But Kyle Larson let that thing fly out there. What a dumbass. People are like, probably gained some fans down there in NASCAR. I don't think the NASCAR fans deserve that. I don't think NASCAR fans are that stupid. I understand that some of them might want the South to rise again and things like that are obnoxious, but I don't think everybody's like, yeah, Kyle Larson made a good decision.
And I assume that's the same deal, right? Is that live on like Fox or Fox Sports or whatever they're showing it on?
And how was our guy Connor there? Connor's not a NASCAR racer. He's an IndyCar racer.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't
I believe
know.
it was like a different kind of race. Like they all got together and just did like a race together.
They're just playing video games together?
Essentially, like through iRacing, like they were like, oh, let's all do this one. I forget what they call it, but it was a different kind of racing.
Well, it turns out in racing and in real life, can't use that word. He has been suspended from all activity with Chip Ganassi without pay. I'm sure Kyle Larson is, questioning everything he's ever said and all the times he said it before and didn't get caught. But here we go. Happy that it's happening to him.